This Chana Masala recipe may be one of my new favorite dishes of all time. Oh my goodness. The flavors are incredible. You can definitely do this at your house. This is the epitome of homemade from scratch. Now, there are definitely some variations when it comes to making the different spice powders for this recipe, but I'm going to show you the basics. Sound good? Let's cook. We're going to start off by soaking up our chickpeas. I've got 3 cups of dried chickpeas, also known as garbanzo beans. You can use canned, but I'll show you how to do that a little bit later. What we're going to do next is add in 6 cups of cold water right over the top, or we're going to be about 4 to 6 inches over the top of the chickpeas. Next, what we want to do is add a lid to the top. We're going to let it sit and soak for about 12 to 24 hours at room temperature. Next, let's grab your favorite saute pan because we're going to make a chana masala powder. We are going to add in 4 cardamom pods, a half of a cinnamon stick that's been broken up, 6 peppercorns, 4 cloves, and then 1 teaspoon of mango powder. And you can absolutely buy mango powder online. For some reason, if you don't want to go that route, you can go buy dried mangoes from your local grocery store. They're in the dried fruit section in there. Just dry them out a little bit more on a cookie sheet tray lined with parchment paper at 250 degrees for about 1 hour or until it crisps up a little bit more. And then just add them to your spice grinder and blend it until it becomes a powder. Boom, problem solved. Okay, here's what we do now. Add in 1 bay leaf. We're going to add in 1 anise star. If you can't, you can use a half teaspoon of caraway seeds. Next, 2 teaspoons of cumin seeds, 2 teaspoons of coriander seeds, 2 teaspoons of fennel, and then we're going over to our cooktop. What we want to do is turn this down to low heat. We want to toast this. This is going to take about 4 to 6 minutes. It will become very aromatic. It's going to smell incredible in here. After about 2 to 3 minutes or so, we are going to add in 1 more ingredient. I've got some dried Kashmiri peppers. You could also use a Thai chili if you'd like. The reason I add them in later is because that skin can really burn very, very quickly. So it only needs a minute or 2 of toasting. Once it is simply toasted, we're going to take it off the cooktop. Now what we're going to do is add them to a spice grinder. If you do not have one of these, you're going to need a mortar and pestle, which is the old school way of doing it. Make sure you scrape all of that goodness into the spice grinder. And then at this point, what you do is simply grind away until it becomes like a powder, like any spice powder you would buy prepackaged from the grocery store. Set it to the side. Now, this next ingredient is optional, but it is commonly used in a lot of different chana masala recipes, and that is garam masala, which is a powder made from a bunch of different spices. Now, you can absolutely buy this pre-made, already nicely packaged at the grocery store, but you know me, I want to make this from scratch. Here is how you do it. Okay, in another saute pan or the same one, totally up to you, we are going to add in a 1/4 cup of cumin seeds, 2 tablespoons of coriander seeds, 2 tablespoons of fennel seeds, 3 star anise. If you don't have those, you can use 1 tablespoon of caraway seeds. Next, 4 cinnamon sticks, 1 tablespoon of cloves, a half of a whole nutmeg, 10 green cardamom pods, 4 black cardamom pods, 4 whole bay leaves, and then last but not least, 1 tablespoon of black peppercorns. And just like making our chana masala powder, this garam masala that's whole right now goes over to the cooktop on low heat, and we simply cook it for 4 to 6 minutes. Again, it will become very aromatic. It's going to smell incredible. You're absolutely going to love it. After that amount of time, same thing, going back over to the spice grinder. You don't need to even clean it out because so many of the spices are the exact same. We're going to add all that goodness in there. And then again, just process this away, grind it up until it becomes like the perfect garam masala powder that you get at the grocery store. Set it to the side. There'll be plenty left over for other delicious Indian recipes. And trust me, I get it. This is a lot of spices. But I was honestly pleasantly surprised to see how many of them I already had in my cupboard. And I'm guessing you will too. All right, now we're going to start finally prepping up some vegetables. Here we go. I've got 2 medium-sized yellow onions. You could substitute out for a sweet, a white, or even a red onion if you'd like. Slice off the ends, slice it in half, of course, and then remove that outside peel. And then we're just going to small dice these, set them to the side in a bowl. In another bowl, we are going to add in quite a few garlic cloves. We're actually going to do 12. I like a lot of garlic flavor in my chana masala. Run it through the press, scrape it off, set it to the side. And then I have a 1-inch block of peeled fresh ginger that I'm going to run on a microplane. This is going to finely grate it, finely mince it. It's just a really easy way to chop it up really, really fine. Set it to the side, and then I have a serrano pepper. Now, you can add 2 to 3 of these peppers. You can even do a jalapeno or even a Fresno pepper. I can't stand the heat, so I'm removing the seeds. You can keep the seeds in there if you like spice. And again, you can use quite a few of them. What we're going to do is just slice these after we've sliced them in half and remove the seeds. Once they are, just set them to the side in a bowl. And now I've got 8 Roma tomatoes. I like to use Roma tomatoes here because they're good all year round. You could closely carve out the little core. I'm just going to slice off the end. There's a lot of prep in this recipe. I'm trying to streamline it a little bit. And then what you do is medium to large dice this, just like this. Again, set them to the side. The prep is over. And now we are going to pull out our chickpeas, our garbanzo beans that have been soaking overnight. They will absolutely come up to the top, soak up so much water. They look perfect. Now what we want to do is just take them over to the sink. Got a colander with a bowl on the bottom, and I'll tell you why in just a second. But we are going to strain our chickpeas completely and then set them to the side. And just a little FYI, the liquid that we drained from the chickpeas that we soaked all night, it's called aquafaba, and it's jam-packed with nutrients and perfect for adding into soil where maybe you have herb gardens or potted plants. Any of those are great. Also, it is a vegan egg replacer. So what you can do is add it to your stand mixer, or maybe you have a hand mixer, and whisk it super, super well, and it will become very foamy. Boom, egg replacer. Who knew? Okay, now here is what we are going to do next. Add our strained chickpeas to a large bowl. And then what I'm going to do is add in about 2/3 gallon of cold water. We're going right over to our cooktop. We're going to turn the heat to about medium low. The goal here is to cook them for about 60 to 75 minutes. We want them to break down and become soft. After about 20 or 30 minutes or so, you'll start to see this foam on the top. Totally fine. Don't freak out. You can skim it off if you want. It does not bother me at all. Be sure to mix it around just to see where you're at. It could be quicker, it could be longer. In the meantime, after about 20 minutes or so, we're going to go over to a large rondeau pot or a large saucepan. We're going to add in oil. Any neutral oil is fine. Next, add in our onions. Now, just like in my chicken curry, we are going to take the time to caramelize these onions. That means 30 to 40 minutes. We want them to brown up nicely, release all those delicious sugars, just like this. And at this point, we're going to add in our garlic, followed up with our finely grated ginger. Just going to quickly cook these for maybe 3 to 4 minutes. Once you smell the garlic, it's probably already done. Now add in our tomatoes. We want to stew these a little bit. They will break down, release a lot of that delicious tomato juice liquid. Probably going to take about 10 or 15 minutes or so. This looks absolutely perfect. And at this point, it's time to add in some more items, starting with our serrano peppers right on top. And then for the spices, I'm only going to start by adding in half of the chana masala powder that we made at the very beginning. I'll use it at the end if we need it. Next, I'm going to hit it with a half teaspoon of turmeric. Next, 1 teaspoon of chili powder. And then I'm going to add in only 1 teaspoon of the garam masala that we made. Stir this together. Make sure all of the ingredients are completely combined and cooking. Now, at this point, we want to loosen it up a little bit. Go over to the pot with the chickpeas that are cooking and steal a couple of cups, about 2 to 2.5. We're going to pour that right into our tomato mixture, and we're going to continue to cook it on medium heat. Cook it down until it becomes thick and it becomes like a gravy. Now, after a total, again, of about 60 to 70 minutes, our chickpeas should have broken down a little bit, be nice and tender. Absolutely perfect at this stage. If you like them a little bit more firm, that's totally okay as well. Now, add those drained chickpeas back over to our pot with the delicious tomato gravy in there. I probably went a little heavy on the chickpeas, and that's totally okay. I like more chickpeas. I like beans. So does my family. If you want to go less by about maybe 2 cups or so, totally fine. This looks fantastic. But again, at this point, we need to adjust the seasonings. Beginning first, of course, we need to add in some salt. It is craving salt. And then for the spices, after I've tasted it, you know what? I'm going to add in the remaining Chana Masala powder that I made at the beginning. And I'm going to hit it with a little bit more GARAM Masala. It adds such nice flavors, nice spices to this. Honestly, season everything, taste it, keep seasoning it and tasting it until you get it to your desired liking. To finish it off, I hit it with a little lemon or lime juice. Either will be fine. Breaks down the heat a little bit and spice in there. And then, oh my gosh, I cannot wait to try this. It smells incredible in here. It does not matter what you're cooking. The fundamental basics will always apply. Caramelizing the onions to pull as much flavor as possible. Making sure to toast up those spices. Oh my gosh, they are so much better. Putting these things into practice over and over and over again will absolutely elevate your everyday cooking, and that is the goal. Because in return, what do you get? The homemade food from scratch, which is so much better. Okay, let's finish this up. We want to plate it up. We got a few more things to add. Here's how you do it. I like to serve this up in a medium to large size bowl so everyone can get in there. And then absolutely, totally classic to finish this off with a little bit of fresh chopped cilantro, or it's known as fresh coriander around the world. And it's really great to serve with some basmati rice and either some chapati or even some naan if you have it. And oh my goodness, let's get in this.